So I want to quickly give you an overview of how the DataBlend Google Sheets app works. As you've seen, you can connect Workday Adaptive Planning a number of ways to Google Sheets using scripts. And this is just taking another approach, which is taking an actual Google certified app, which you'll see here under the extensions menu for DataBlend, is connecting to your adaptive instance using credentials you provided, and gives you a number of opportunities to either create or execute saved queries, which are either extracts or imports of data to Workday Adaptive Planning. What I want to first show is we can execute a query. Here, what you'll see is we have a fairly basic but formatted income statement. This is going to be working off of a query of data, which is a raw data export that then this report is using to do a data lookup off of. What's nice about this is, again, there's no scripting or formulas required beyond just what you would normally do inside Google Sheets. So I go ahead and click on this button here to the right. You'll have the ability to execute the workflow. That's going to work and go out and call your adaptive planning instance. And then we'll return the data to the sheet that's supporting this workbook. What's nice about this approach, it's very straightforward. It works. You can see the data has come back. This profit and loss tab here is working off of a query, which you can see has been populated into this worksheet. So this should look familiar. It's a fairly raw data extract. What's great with this data extract approach, I'll show you here, it's very easy to create a new one. We go up under the app, we can say create a new query. We'll go ahead and give it a name. Say where we want this to point. We're going to point it here at sheet 52. And you can start it in any column or row you want. We'll start it in column B, and why don't we say row 4. And then you choose your type. This is a collection of data, so a collector, and it's coming from Adaptive. Once this launches, what you'll see is we're going to get a screen for a data export, which should look fairly familiar to what you're accustomed to seeing within the Workday application. You'll have all the similar criteria available. So you can see here we've got your credentials already selected. We're doing an export data call. We're going to export data from, we can actually do from multiple versions. So I'm going to go ahead and add this budget version as well as our actual. So you could set up for a budget actuals report, and you just then have to include the version in the schema. You can choose the sheet name if it were a model data export. Here we're going to set a date range. So we'll go ahead and extract this from January 2018 to December of 2018. And then here you can then select what accounts you want. So here, why don't we do an extract for all of our revenue accounts, as well as our cost of goods sold accounts and our expense accounts. Now those, and then we just want to say we also want to include all of the descendants below this roll-up. And then we can select levels. So we can do the whole organization, include descendants. At that point, you've got everything you need to do to get an extract into Google Sheets. You hit save and execute, and it's going to run that extract, and you'll see the data will populate in. So what's great about this approach is you can see just clicking, no coding necessary, able to get that raw data into Google Sheets from your adaptive instance. Once you've created the extract, like I just showed, you're able to run it from that prompt menu, as in the first step. And you can see the last step here, it populated into the worksheet. So it started in column B, row 4. So if you wanted to have any lookup formulas, key off of that. You can see here we've gotten all of our data, and it has pulled over from both versions. So you can see we have the budget data as well as the actuals data. All right, so that's the export approach. Now, the nice thing with this DataBlend app for Google Sheets is we also have the ability to do some formatted reporting as well. So if I jump in here to this new Rev report, you can see I have a formatted report with levels across the top and some accounts down the side. What I want to point out with this is actually a pivot of data. This is not using formulas, but it does have some formula logic built in for for our fields for for total costs. And I wanted to make an update here and make this a formula as well to for total revenue. And what you'll see is that'll be maintained as we update the actual data extract. Okay, we go under extensions, DataBlend, we're going to go to edit a saved query. And if we go down, this is using my May pivot example. And again, if we set where it's starting, this is creating a report. And if we say continue, we then can select the fields we want to have displayed on this report. And what you'll see is this loads a drag and drop parameter where you have the levels here. We have our account specified with blanks and a time horizon. So here, if we want to first, let's add an additional level to the list. Let's maybe grab, add sales Edinburgh here on the end. So we can simply drag and drop sales Edinburgh in here. And if we wanted to add an additional account, perhaps we want to add the product revenue C into this. So we can grab product revenue C. That could come in here. I'm going to remove one of my blank rows just because I know that will keep the spacing in formulas. And now, we're still running it for May data, but we can go ahead and save and execute this. And what this is doing is it's doing that same query of adaptive, but it is then going to present it into this formatted layout of the report and retain the formula logic and formatting that we presented. So the key here is that we're able to translate that data into a report format, but then also augment it with formulas. So as you can see here, our formulas have retained. We added the new product revenue, and you can see sales Edinburgh. So keeping that formatted report, we're able to pull that right into the Google Sheet here. Just another example of this formatted approach. We'll go into our execute or edit save queries. And this one is working off of my example here. And what this is using, we've got two versions pulling in. And then what you'll see is we selected a number of revenue, cost, and other accounts. And here what we'll do is why don't we change the time that we're running for. And you can also do this via parameter, but just thought this was easier to highlight. So we're changing from January to February, and then we can execute this same report. And we'll run that workflow, extract the data, and update everything for February. Again, retaining formatting, additional formulas, and the layout of your page. So nice thing here, as you saw, we have the raw data extract as well as this formatted report approach for getting your data. You can see that is updated. All the formula logic has been retained in the formatting. And that'll get you to also be able to add any additional versions or things that you'd like to do. We can also build those from scratch, but I wanted to share that for today. Another thing we're able to do is bi-directional. So while it's called a query, if we go under execute saved queries, we do have a worksheet here for input. So if we did add a row and insert a row above, and if I want to copy some of this data down, get this warning message, that's just a Google Sheet. So if we wanted to add another row of data to our adaptive instance, we could call this example number 2, DataBlend, and come over here, and rather than loading it into December, maybe we're going to add that to August, $1 million or 10 million as it may be. We have this vendor import button already built, so you can build imports, and upon execution here, this is doing the extract of the data, and we're able to while this is running, we can pull up adaptive. You can see that that'll have populated it. So it's running the load right now. So the nice thing is you can have reporting, you can have the data extract, and then we also have the ability to import data as well. If we now opened up an adaptive window, if we navigate to that vendor spend sheet, and we go to sales east, which is what I loaded to, you'll see that record, for example, 2 has populated into the sheet. So bi-directional flow. I think the key things to take away from this app are, no programming necessary. Everything is point and click. bidirectional extract and load, as well as formatted reporting capabilities. Thank you for the time, and look forward to hearing any feedback. We're certainly, while we have this product in productive use, we're certainly looking for feedback and looking for ways to further enhance this. So if anyone is interested to learn more, please reach out, and we're happy to have a discussion. Thank you.